This is Eagle Owl, and today the Eagles officially signed Azeez Ojulari to a nice deal. Also, Joshua Uche talked to the media, and I like some things that he said. Lastly, Lane Johnson got the extension, but let's get into these topics. All right, man. Before we get into the main topics, I want to talk about Justin Reid. Remember that rumor came out that the Eagles tried to sign him? He finally spoke on it and he said it was actually really close. But the cap space, it was a money thing. But let me play this clip.
I was watching your press conference this morning and you said Saints, even though you didn't meet with them, the Titans and the Eagles, like those were teams that you liked, that you were talking to, whatever. Justin, when I saw the CJGJ trade, I thought it was a wrap. I'm like,
Yeah,
up, there's Justin Reid. He's heading to Philly. You
yeah,
were trending on Twitter. I
yeah.
literally was like, I was golfing or something. I was like, no, it's all done. How close were you to that, which would have been
Pretty close
crazy?
actually. Pretty
Really?
close, just because me and the defensive back coach there have a really good relationship. The defensive system was the same defensive system that I ran at Stanford, so that whole Big Fangio system I know it pretty well, and the conversations were pretty intense. The only drawback was they were just so limited in cap space that we couldn't make a deal that made sense. But the situation, the conversation was happening.
You could have gone there and switched sides and tried to repeat a Super Bowl berth with them. That would have been crazy. Chiefs fans would have lost their mind.
Yeah, well, I still believe we can still get that done in New Orleans.
So yeah, man, Justin Reed was almost an Eagle. Again, I don't want to harp on the CJ Garner Johnson thing again. Justin Reed would have been a great fit, but it does let me know that even though we signed in these other guys, it looked like, we still in that market for a safety. So I would not be surprised if we draft a safety really early in the draft. All right. Also, got to talk about Howie Roseman. He's not playing. He's pushing the youth movement. Remember, we kept saying we should get like Khalil Mack, this, that, and the third. But nah, he's getting all young guys. Azeez Ojulari, 24. Nolan Smith, 24. Bryce Huff, 26. Joshua Uche, 26. KJ Henry, 26. Mathis, 26. Again, Patrick Johnson, 27. And that's crazy. Patrick Johnson is the vet in the room at 27. So Howie, again, he's not playing around. He's definitely pushing a youth movement. No more 30-plus-year-olds. I'm sorry, Justin Simmons, you might not be an Eagle. We trying to push this thing forward, man. And his obsession with Bulldogs. Lewis Seen. We know the Nolan Smiths. Now Azeez Ojulari. More and more and more of these Bulldogs. Jordan Davis. He love these Bulldogs, man. So Howie, keep cooking. Keep cooking. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about Azeez Ojulari, man. Azeez Ojulari is a Philadelphia Eagle. 1 year, $4 million deal. Now, in my head, I'm thinking he took this deal because he's seen the Eagles do good business. Like, for example, Zach Bond paid him really early. He got the bag. But also, he probably think he can revive his career here. Now, while his numbers look decent, they look good, they could definitely be better. The problem is that he can't stay on the field. That's the Azeez Ojulari problem. It's hard for him to stay on the field. He get pressures, he get the sacks. He's good in the run game, but you can't play 7, 8 games think you're gonna get the bag. So him coming to Philadelphia under Vic Fangio, he seen what Vic Fangio did with the defense, and he believed he could add to that. So he's looking at the future, and I'm happy he's betting on himself that he can do this, that he can make this Philadelphia Eagles team better. Because say if the Eagles can't afford him next year, say if we had one of those years, we just can't afford him. He know he could go somewhere and get a lot of money. You got to think of the Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat, remember he took a 1 year deal. He could have went somewhere else, but he like, I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm gonna come back to the Philadelphia Eagles for one more year and see if I could cash out. And think of like a Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick was whiny and bitching about his contract. We're like, okay, we're gonna send you somewhere, see if you can earn it. And now Josh Sweat is making more money than Hassan Reddick in the long term because Josh Sweat bet on the Eagles organization. And I think Azeez Ojulari is taking that same step. Like, okay, maybe this team offered me more, but I know if I play good here, it's going to put me on a national level. We're going to be winning. We're going to be a playoff team. And even if the Eagles can't afford me, I can go somewhere and get a Josh Sweat contract. Because Azeez, his skill set, he could be better than Josh Sweat. That's Josh Sweat's replacement easily. Unless, Jaylus Hunt step it up. I like this signing for Jaylus Hunt because if Jaylus Hunt really liked that, beat out Azeez Ojulari, beat out Joshua Uche, beat those dudes out. So yeah, man, this is a good thing, man. I think this guy is really betting on himself, Azeez Ojulari. This is really, really, really smart by him. Really smart. So shout out to Azeez Ojulari, you're a Philadelphia Eagle. We know you're a former Bulldog, so Howie Roseman was gonna offer you a contract anyway. And shout out to Slick Ricks, man. He was the first to put it out there. You look at my video 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I was like, yo, it's a little rumor. That rumor heating up was Azeez Ojulari. And a lot of people were like, well, it's coming from one guy. I'm like, I'm telling you, Slick Rick usually got it. He usually got the scoop. So, hey, I mean, I was on it. I'm gonna take the credit for it. I'm gonna just take the credit for it. All right. So, speaking of edge rushers, let's talk about Joshua Uche, man. He spoke to the media. And the one thing that stuck out to me is he still got a lot left in the tank. I love to hear that for sure, that he still got it. Young guy, had double digit sacks in 2022. And the question is, definitely coming from Eagles fans, is like, do he still have it? Is that guy that was in New England still in him? Can he still play at a high level? And it sounds like he's saying he can. It sounds like he's saying he can. And if you could get a piece of that while rotating, this edge rushing group can be better than last year's. It can. And this is not even entering the draft. I'm not even talking about the draft, what we're going to do there. We just talking about free agent signings. Joshua Usage, if he still got it, if he still got a lot left in the tank, and he's very young. It's not like we talking about a 33, 34-year-old. He's what, in his mid-20s. He should be in his prime right now. Now, things didn't work out in KC. Maybe he don't fit that scheme. Maybe Vic Fangio see something in him like, okay, I can turn him around. And you got to remember, now this is a full offseason with Vic Fangio. Bryce Huff wasn't a Vic Fangio pickup, and I believe Vic Fangio wanted Xavier McKinney over CJ Gardner-Johnson. So now we seeing the guys that Vic Fangio want. Howie Roseman is just offering the contracts. But I'm telling you, Vic Fangio is in Howie Roseman's ear. Like, get this guy. See if we could get this guy. So we get a full off season of that. Again, Vic Fangio guys and guys he think he can turn around. Remember, we wanted usage before he went to KC. We wanted him way before he went to KC, but it just didn't work out. And he's familiar with the Eagles, with the joint practice, the Super Bowl, like how he said. And he see how successful the Eagles organization is. And again, another guy who think he could turn it around in Philadelphia. And if Fangio want him, cool. I haven't really questioned Vic Fangio moves, of course, except the CJ thing. But even with that, I'm like, oh, he sees something in somebody else on the team. Is it Louis Seen? Is it Sidney Brown? Is Reid actually the leader and that guy they really believe in that could take that role? So I can't really question Vic Fangio's move. Same when I see Howie Roseman doing these things with the contract. Same with me with Vic Fangio moves. And I like the Joshua usage. We're not asking him to be the primary guy. We asking him to be a rotational guy. Can you make the team and be a rotational guy? So yeah, he's gonna be fun to watch. He's definitely gonna be fun to watch. Camp battles and stuff like that. Hell, do we keep Bryce Huff around? We'll see. We'll definitely see. Last but certainly not least, right after the Azeez Ojulari news drop, Lane Johnson. I've been talking about this for a minute. That stitching is going to come for Lane Johnson. Surprised it came before Cam Jurgens, but it definitely came. Pause. Lane Johnson is going to be here for quite some time, man. He's going to be here for quite some time. Lane Johnson extended through 2027. I'm happy for him. Definitely happy for him. Speaking of a lot left in the tank, yeah, Lane Johnson still got a lot left in the tank, and he got that bag. He been playing as the best right tackle in the NFL, class act for sure. Lane Johnson definitely deserves his bag, deserves his extension. You know, he's the guy. He's the guy for sure. We could lose AJ, we could lose Devontae, we can lose hell, maybe even Saquon Barkley. But we know when Lane Johnson is off the field, we're a totally different team. That's how good he is. He changed this offense. He's that impactful. While he don't get stats like the other guys I named, but we just see the impact. We see our record without Lane Johnson. We terrible without Lane Johnson. So he deserves the money. He deserves the bag. And shout out Lane Johnson. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey man, what do you think? How do you feel? Howie Roseman pushing this youth movement. Got Azeez Ojulari, a guy that'd be 25 in June. Also Joshua Uche, Lane Johnson. And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.